Welcome! We are going to look at different examples, so take notes and let's go! Here we need to complete the three ordered pair solutions for this equation. The first number here is an x value and the second number is the y value. So we need to find the y values for these three ordered pairs. So to do that, we are going to solve this equation. So we are going to subtract 7 from both sides, right? In order to isolate y. So 7 minus 7 will give us 0. And on the other side, we will have y equals negative 7. So we found that y equals negative 7. So you will take negative 7 and write it as a y value in each ordered pair. And it's going to be the same y value. I am going to explain to you why. This equation y plus 7 equals 0 or y equals negative 7 is the equation of a horizontal line. For example, if I drew a horizontal line, this is our value negative 7. So if I drew a horizontal line, you see the x values on a horizontal line can be any number, but the y value, the y coordinate will be always negative 7. So that's why you will write negative 7 for each ordered pair, and you are done. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, so solve for y in terms of x. Here's our equation, 2x minus 4y equals 5. You see, x and y, they are written on the same side and some number is on the other side. What we need to do, you see it's written here, solve for y. So in the end, we want to have this answer. Y equals everything else. See right here. So we need to have y all by itself. You see y here is not by itself. So we need to rewrite this equation. So y is all alone on one side and everything else is on the other side. So all we are trying to do, we are trying to get to rewrite this equation. So we have y by itself. So what we're going to do first, we are going to subtract 2x from both sides, right, in order to isolate y. So 2x minus 2x will give us 0. On the left side, we will have negative 4y equals, and on the other side, we will have negative 2x plus 5, okay? So we're almost there, but we need to separate negative 4 and y, because we just want to have one y, right? So what do? Negative 4 times y. So it means we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. So we're dividing both sides by negative 4 and each number on the other side by negative 4. Okay? So negative 4y divided by negative 4 will be 1y or just y. And on the other side, look here, negative 2x divided by negative 4. Right? Let's write it on the side. Negative 2x divided by negative 4. Look, we have fractions here. Negative divided by negative will give us positive. So 2x divided by 4. And we need to reduce this fraction, right? We will divide both numerator and denominator by 2. 2x divided by 2 will be just x. 4 divided by 2 will be 2. Okay, so we have y equals x over 2. And then positive 5 divided by negative 4 will be negative 5 over 4. Okay, and we will keep it as an improper fraction here. So you see, we rewrote this given equation so that y is all by itself on one side and everything else is on the other side. So that's it, and you are done. So you see, this one you can also write like this: y equals 1 over 2x minus 5 over 4. So this is another way to do. You see, you put x like this instead of in the numerator. But both are correct. So both are correct ways to write it. So I hope this is helpful. Let's look at another example. All right. Determine whether the ordered pair negative 7, negative 1. So this is going to be x value, negative 7, and y value will be negative 1, is a solution of the equation. Another way to ask this question is, does this ordered pair satisfy the equation? So we have this equation right here, and we need to see if this ordered pair -7, -1 satisfies this equation or is a solution to this equation. So all we're gonna do is, this is the x value, y value. All we're gonna do is take -7 and plug it in for x, -7. And we're gonna take -1 and plug it in for y and see if it equals to 10. So all you do is plug it in and see if you have 10 on one side and 10 on the other side to see if this checks out. So -2 times plugging in -7 for x plus 4 times plugging in -1 for y, -1. Is it equal to 10? Let's see. -2 times -7 is positive 14. 14 plus 4 times -1 is -4. So it looks like it does check out. 10 equals 10. So this ordered pair is a solution to this equation, or this ordered pair satisfies this equation. So that's all you do. Let's look at another problem together. All right, find the slope of the line passing through the points -2, 3 and -1, 5. So this is our x value. Okay, so this is the formula to find the slope of the line algebraically. So first we need to label the points. Let's say the first point is going to be x1, y1, and the second point is going to be x2, y2. And then we're going to carefully substitute the values into the formula. So let's go. Look here, in the numerator you will start with the y values. So y2 is 5. 5 minus came from the formula y1. What is y1? 3. So put 3 here. Over, now let's substitute the x values. x2, what is x2? -1. -1 minus came from the formula. And x1, what is x1? -2. So put -2 in parentheses to be careful with the signs. All right, let's do the math. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then in the denominator, -1 minus 2. So we will have -1 plus 2. Okay, now let's simplify. 2 over -1 plus 2 is 1. So the slope will be 2. All right, let's look at another example. Find the slope of the line passing through the points 6, 5 and 6, -4. Look here, we have the same x coordinate. That's interesting. Let's see what will happen. So first what we are going to do, we are going to label the points. So let's say the first point is going to be x1, y1. The second point is going to be x2, y2. And now let's plug in the values. Very good. I love it. So y2 is -4 minus y1 is 5. x2, so what is x2? 6. 6 minus, and x1 is also 6. Wow, look what's going to happen. -4 minus 5 will be -9, and in the denominator, 6 minus 6 is going to be 0. Division by 0 is undefined, so -9 divided by 0 is going to be undefined. So we got the points of a vertical line. So so this is somewhere 6. So that's going to be the vertical line. So the slope of the vertical line is undefined. All right, let's do another example. So when you work with linear equations with two variables, you may encounter standard form. You see, x and y are written on the same side. A linear equation in two variables can be written in slope-intercept form. This is the most useful form. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope and b is your y-intercept. I have several videos on how to graph a line using the slope-intercept form, how to find the equation of the line using the slope and the y-intercept, so be sure to check it out. And then there is another form. It's called point-slope form, when you are given a point with the coordinates x1 and y1 and the slope. You can find the equation of the line. So let's look at a couple examples. Find the slope of the line 6x minus 2y equals 15. So how we are going to do that? Let's write the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So m is going to be the slope and b is the y-intercept. So we are given the equation 6x minus 2y equals 15 in standard form. If we rewrite this equation so that y is all by itself, and we will get the number in front of x, that will be our slope. So we're going to take this equation and rewrite it. So we have y isolated, and then the number in front of x will be the slope. So that's how we are going to find the slope. So what we do? We are going to rewrite this equation. So we have y all by itself. What do? We subtract 6x from both sides. 6x minus 6x will give us 0. We have negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 15. Now, you see that in slope-intercept form, there is 1 in front of y, right? But we have negative 2. So what are we going to do? We're going to divide both sides by negative 2 very carefully. Negative 2y divided by negative 2 will be y. You see, y is getting by itself. I love it. Look here. Negative 6x divided by negative 2. Negative divided by negative will be positive. So it will be 3x. And here, 15 divided by negative 2, we can just keep it as an improper fraction. Negative 15 over 2. And all we care is the number in front of x. That's going to be our slope. So the slope m is 3, is the number in front of x, according to this slope-intercept form right here. Very good, very good. So the slope is m equals 3. All you have to do is to rewrite this equation so that y is all by itself, and then you will get the number in front of x, and that's gonna be your slope. All right, I hope this is helpful. Are you focusing? Because I am focusing. So let's keep going. All right, write the equation of the line through this point with the coordinates x equals 0, y equals 3, with the slope of 2/5. So we need to write the equation of the line, and we're given a point and the slope. So again, let's involve the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, right? So what we're given here? We're given the slope. So the slope equals 2/5. So we're going to take the slope and plug it in for m because we have it. So y equals 2/5 times x plus b. All we just need to find is this b value, the y-intercept. Now let's make use of this point that we already have, 0, 3. So what we are going to do? Is to take the x value, which is 0, and plug it into the equation. And then we're going to take the y value and plug it into the equation. And then we're going to find b. Okay, let's do it. Very good. So the y value is 3. So put 3 for y equals 2/5 is the slope. So keep it 2/5 times, what's the x value? 0 times 0. I love multiplying by 0 because it's so easy. Plus b. You see, we just plugged in our point into the equation and we're going to find b. Okay, so look here. 3 equals 2/5 times 0 is 0. So we have 0 plus b. So how do we find b? b equals 3, right? Because 0 plus b is b. So 3 equals b, or b equals 3. So we found the y-intercept, b equals 3, not 3. Now let's write our equation, the equation of this line. So y equals mx plus b. So y equals, the slope is 2/5, 2/5 x. And what is our b? Our b is 3 plus 3. So that's it. Let's look over it again. So what we did here, let's look. Write the equation of the line through this point and the slope. The first thing we did, we wrote the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Then we plugged in the slope, 2/5. Then we had to solve the equation. We plugged in the x value and the y value into the equation and we found b. Then we plugged in everything we need into slope-intercept form. So the slope is right here and the b value is 3. So that's it. Let's do another example. Find the equation of the line through -1, 4 with the slope of -3. Very similar to what we just did, right? All right. So what we need? We need to write the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So the slope is -3. So we're going to put -3 for m. Y equals -3x plus b. Now we just need to find the b value, right? So what we're going to do is, this is the x value, x equals -1 and the y value is 4. So we're going to take the x value and plug it in for x here. And then we are going to take the y value and plug it in for y. And then we're going to find the b value. So y value is 4. 4 equals, -3 is the slope, -3 times x value is -1. So let's put parentheses around -1 so we don't lose the sign. Plus b. Now do not do the math. Look to make sure we got everything right. 4 equals -3 times -1 plus b. Okay, now let's find b. 4 equals -3 times -1 will be +3 plus b. Okay, how do we find b? We subtract 3 from both sides. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So b equals 1. Very good, very good. Now let's write the equation. Y equals mx plus b, that's the slope-intercept form. Now we are going to plug in our values. Y equals, the slope is -3 and the b value that we just found is 1. So plus 1. That's it. I hope this is helpful. Very good, very good. Now let's look at another example. What is the equation of the line? Okay, this one is a hard one. So let's focus. Again, let's write the slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So we need to find the slope and the y-intercept. So let's quickly look at where the line crosses the y-axis, because the b value is the y-intercept. So b equals y-intercept. So let's look at the line where the line crosses the y-axis, right here, right? So 1, 2, 3. So here y equals 3. So b is 3. So let's quickly write y equals mx plus 3. Very good, we found the y-intercept. Now let's find the slope. How we're gonna do it? We are going to pick 2 easy points on the graph. So how about I pick this point and I don't know, this point. So this is gonna be my starting point, this is gonna be my ending point. And I'm gonna travel from one point to the other. So let's write down slope equals rise over run. Rise over run. Okay, this is not easy, so be sure you focus with me. Rise over run. So I have 2 points. I picked easy points, and I'm going to travel from my starting point to the ending point. I'm going to travel down, right? And counting squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I went down, it will be -4. So -4, my rise is -4 because I went down. Now I'm going to travel to the right. Let's count squares. 1, 2. So because I travel to the right, it will be +2. So I'll put +2. And then I will do the math. -4 divided by 2 will be -2. So my slope is -2. Do you want to pick other points just to check? Let's pick another point. How about this point? How about this point? And this point. And let's say this is our starting point. And this is our ending point. And let's travel. So I will show you how it works. So we're going to start. We are going up from this point to the other, right? Because this is the starting point. 1, 2. Since I went up 2 units, it's going to be +2. So +2 over. Now I'm going to the left. Because I'm traveling to the left, it's going to be negative. So I'm going to right here, -1, -1, -1, because I went to the left. So 2 over -1. Now let's do the math. 2 divided by -1 will be -2. So it doesn't matter what points you pick, your slope is -2. I have another video on how to find the slope from the graph. Be sure to review it for additional practice. Now let's write the equation of the line. Y equals mx plus b. What is our slope? Is -2. Y equals -2x. And what is the y-intercept? What is the b value? Is 3. So +3. Very good. Very good. So to find the slope, when you go down, you will use negative. When you go up, you will use a positive sign. When you go to the right, it's going to be positive. When you go to the left, it's going to be negative. So this is the equation of the line. And now let's do another example. Okay, let's talk about parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. So here's the question. Determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. One line has this equation. Y equals 3x plus 5. And another line has this equation. Y equals 3x minus 4. Again, y equals mx plus b is the slope-intercept form. The number in front of x is the slope. So, the slope of the first line, we're just looking at the number in front of x. The slope of this line is 3. So, let's say it's m1. And the slope of this line is, I will put it m2, is also 3. So since these two equations have the same slope, these two lines have the same slope, it means that they are parallel. Something like this, they are parallel. Or maybe like this, they will never cross because parallel lines have the same slope. That's it. So these two lines are parallel. Okay, and I think I have one more example. Let's go. Perpendicular lines. Okay. So perpendicular lines are lines that cross at 90-degree angle. So the slopes of perpendicular lines, if you multiply them, it will be equal to -1. Let's look. So we are given two equations here. The first equation is the equation of the first line. Let's get the slope. It's the number in front of x. So m1 equals 2/3. Okay, and then we're given the second equation. So the slope of the second line, m2, equals -3/2. Now let's multiply the slopes and see if we get -1. If we get -1, it means these two lines are perpendicular. So m1 times m2, is it equal to -1? So 2/3 times -3/2. Is it equal to -1? Look, we definitely have the negative, right? And then look, we can, when we multiply fractions, right? What do we have? 2/3 times 3/2, right? We multiply numerators and denominators, and we can cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we have -1. So these two lines are perpendicular. I hope this is helpful to you. Thank you for focusing with me. I'll see you next time.